So yeah, I was talking about how women want a man who is emotionally the right way, grounded, calm, expressive emotionally, is able to show humor. Like, for example, in this moment, how I just love this moment so much with this camera, how much I want to make out with this camera. I mean, it's just so beautiful. Look at the lens on this thing, man. Just unreal, man. So good. I just can't wait to go 4K with this lens. Whatever all that terminology is with the cameras, I don't know. I'm not an expert on that, but or the aperture and the exposure, so much seduction. No, but yeah, having that ability to express the emotions, also express too, like when you don't like something to a woman, not in like a dickish way, be like, "Fuck you, bitch," like not like that. It's more like, "Hey, I noticed you're doing this. I'm not a big fan of that. So yeah, we gotta cut that out." Something like that. There's many ways to go about doing it, which is a whole nother video of how to set boundaries. But don't get crazy with it too. I mean, you shouldn't have like a million boundaries set in a girl either. However, if it really bothers you a lot and it's something that, you can't let go of or release, then maybe you should have a chat with her about it. But yeah, like I said, that's another video. There's a lot of nuances to it also. But yeah, so personality. Yeah, so basically you want to get to a point where you don't want to show too much anger or frustration, and you're very, very chill in terms of the way that you say things, and not letting her affect your mood too much, and your self-esteem is extremely important. Women absolutely look for this, and they find a guy that does this super well, super attractive, and also to just emanating peace and love in their energies. There's really a lot of tinges of energy, I call it, that you want to emanate in your emotions and your behavior. Like, and people can feel your energy, right? Because you can walk into a room, and some people don't turn their heads at all, and they're like, who? They're like, don't even look. Who cares who that is? And some people walk in the room with just this magnetic energy, and you're like, holy shit, who is that? Wow. And women notice it, men notice it when women notice it, and yeah. You can learn to have an infectious energy to kind of suck everyone into your frame, so to speak, or your energy. But you want to do it in a high vibration way, which basically means, in peace and love, in a sense of sharing a contribution, in a kind of welcoming, joining way, not like a pushing way, be like, I'm better than you, fuck you, like that shit. No, not today. So yeah, you want to do it that way with your energy. And then, some people go, well, Ryan, I can't change my personality. This is who I am. And that's garbage, especially if you have a lot of fear and anxiety and worry and stress, because those things can all be released from your energy field or from your mind, or however you want to put it, so it doesn't sound too woo-woo or some shit. But this stuff is absolutely real, this energy stuff. Some people don't buy into it, but it really is true, because especially around women, and this is why I want to teach this channel in almost like a spiritual way with dating, because when you can have the right energy, especially around women, it's super attractive, to emanate the right vibration, is infectious, and even like me, it's like as I'm talking, it's like almost everything I'm saying, I'm kind of smiling, right? There's like this underneath grin, so to speak. So yeah, this stuff is absolutely real. And so what else? Oh yeah, I mean, then there's the obvious stuff, right? Of, a girl doesn't want you to be homeless with your parents. However, there's are ways you can get around that. So it's not like you have to be rich and have your own place and all this stuff. You can have roommates. You can be in college and get women. You could actually even be homeless and be in a car and get women. So I mean, there's no limits really. However, it is definitely advantageous to have more money than not have enough money. But it is not a final determinant of how many women you get or the woman that you get. However, some women will definitely cut you out if you are poor. So that also exists too. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, you can get Jennifer Aniston or Jennifer Lopez because even if you're homeless. That's not true. They're not going to go for that. Why would they? They can't relate to that. And why would they? That's a liability for them, because they don't want to pay for all your shit and whatever. And maybe you trick them into marrying them, and then you take half their money. So I'm in. Yeah, that's not good. Let's not do that. Okay. And then also the ability as a man to provide a safe environment, not only for conversation, but, physical safety. It definitely helps if you're a bigger man. Let me move this camera slightly so you can see my eyeballs. It's definitely helpful to be taller and more muscular and bigger. Not too muscular though, because usually women like kind of the surfer body, long and lean, mean fighting machine. But yeah, you can still make it work the other ways. It's not like this one's not an absolute of what they want, but it's definitely some general thing of what they want. So don't get overly concerned if you're not that, but definitely, if you can, be lean and mean, fighting machine. And then also what they want, yeah, so we basically talked about humor, we talked about personality, we talked about boundaries, we talked about the ability to listen, to make them feel heard, seen, understood. I didn't throw that part in, but there you go, there's a little nugget. And allow them to even express themselves too, like you don't have to dominate the conversation all the time, If you're like a dude, you like always want to talk about yourself and dominate the conversation, don't do that shit, man. Most girls, they want to talk about themselves anyway, so yeah, let them talk, don't dominate the conversation. Of course, when you want to talk, but at the same time, sometimes you got to shut up and just listen. And that actually just goes into being a caring human being in general, though. I mean, if you don't even care about women and like their feelings and what they have to say, then maybe you shouldn't be dating anyway. But that's neither here nor there. But what else we got? Okay, the money portion, safety, kind of provider thing. Everyone already talks about that. Humor, personality, groundedness, letting them talk. These are all the things they want, right? And they want great sex. I mean, let's just say it for what it is. They don't want a dude that's like, coming in 2 minutes or 30 seconds or something. Someone that actually makes them feel good pleasure and gives them an orgasm ideally. Doesn't have to be an orgasm every time, but you should go for that and try to figure out what feels best for them. And amazing sex. You gotta learn how to do amazing sex. That's a whole nother video, and you can actually watch a lot of other videos and from other dudes talking on that if you want. There's a lot of stuff out there on YouTube. Yeah, great sex. It helps to be socially connected. Women definitely look at that. It's not like a must. Because actually, dude, I've gone out to the bars and clubs and just day game or like meeting women at Starbucks or the grocery store. You don't have. They don't. They're not going to tell that you're socially connected in that, other than your behaviors, like your charisma level, your persuasiveness, things of that nature. So I mean, you can get away with it that way. Yeah. So it's not a must, the social proof thing and being socially connected, but it absolutely helps to be socially connected. What else we got? So career definitely helps to be successful in your career, but not a must again. But then again, some girls want it, a guy that's successful, like a CEO or an executive or something. But like, again, it just depends, but not a absolute must, And then, in general, women do want a go-getter, someone that is a leader, and someone that really goes after what they want and not is scared to do it, not like being shy or something. That's not really a good play, unless you do it in like a funny way where you like pretend to be shy, but just as like a joke for a moment, not like the whole time you put on that play. So yeah, we got that. And what else we got? That's pretty much the main things, really. Because that's really the most masculine of the energies, the leadership one, the groundedness, and the ability to express the desires. And another one too is the the comfort equation, which I already kind of hit on a little before. But when I say that, I'm talking about making sure, reading the girl's, okay, actually that's what it really is. Okay, so it's reading the girl's emotions and her body language to see if she's comfortable with certain things or not, because you don't want to push her and force her into things she doesn't want to do. You know, which you can actually do takeaways and stuff, being like, oh, we can just do this only if you want to, or, you know, I can see you're not into it, so we'll move on to something else. You know, stuff like that to kind of pull back so she can feel more comfort. Because what she's scared of is men who just constantly push their agenda on her, especially when she doesn't want it, and then just kind of freaks her out and makes her scared. So you definitely don't want to do that. I've seen guys do that way too much. Don't do that. It's stupid. You know, read her emotions in terms of when she gets tense or not, and when she gets afraid or not, anxious or not. And even call it out too, you know, be like, hey, I'm noticing this, like what's going on? And, you know, let her explain herself. You know, women love that too. They love talking about their emotions and their feelings. So nothing wrong with doing that. Definitely works. And then, you know, let's see what else we got. And just importantly, authenticity. You know, you got to be congruent with what you're saying. You know, girls can smell bullshit from a million miles away. And they can tell when you're lying usually, unless you're like an incredible liar. But you shouldn't do that anyway, really. Because you don't want to manipulate women. That's low vibration energy. That's not good. I highly recommend not to do that. It's better just to be totally honest. And then even if that means sometimes that you have to push the girl away or give her off to someone else. Well, not like literally, but figuratively. You know, being like, hey, maybe you should see other people because we're not compatible because of this, this, and this. Nothing wrong with that. It's actually in best for you and her, because you don't want to be in a relationship of stress, anxiety, worry, and where you're not enjoying each other's company too much and having good conversation. Well, actually, that's another thing I forgot to mention. Good conversation with women. You know, having it be flowy, you know, good vibes, you know, where you're really getting along, like where you feel like almost it's like your best friend or something, or you're having just a great time. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect with this every time, but in general, it should be pretty damn smooth. The conversation, you guys should have like similar interests and things you talk about. So yeah, and then then there's a whole nother video too of like what you want in a woman and how to figure that out, and et cetera, et cetera. But so yeah, we've covered pretty much everything on that. You know, the conversation, keeping it flowy, the personality, groundedness, masculine energy. Also speaking, that's another video, speaking feminese. But that's kind of part of what women want too. They want you to basically, if I were to sum it up in a few short words, feminese is basically speaking in feminine, which is speaking with their emotions and feelings, being aware of them, you know, allowing them to talk about themselves more, and being genuinely interested in them. As a person, not even just for the sex only, obviously, but I mean, of course, we all like sex, but even the women, them wanting great sex, them wanting someone that has, let's say, a little more success or social proof, but those aren't totally needed. And also, like, they look for a man that knows how to escalate properly, can do it like a baby stepping way, you know, not where you're just like going in for the makeout right away. Although sometimes you can do that at a nightclub, but no. Not off the bat. Don't do that all the time. Only if you can read the situation right. But in general, you want to baby step it, you know, like holding her hand first or giving her a high five, you know, maybe tickling her a little bit. Be like, oh, I like this dress, kind of touch her on the leg a little bit. Things like that. You got to baby step the escalation to move towards the kissing or getting more intimate, if you know what I mean. That was kind of a weird winky face, but you got the point. So yeah, we got that. And having a good personality, not getting, you know, let the woman push you into negative emotions at all, being grounded. And also usually women like men who are adventurous, you know, who like to travel, who try new things, who take risk, daring, brave, and then of course, you know, confident men, which basically just means that, you know, you're certain in your own reality of what's true for you. You know who you are, what your values are. You believe in yourself that you deserve this woman, and that you guys can have a great time together. You know, just full on belief that like, holy shit, I am the man. You know, you don't want to let it go too far to where you start getting delusional or like extremely cocky, because women don't like that either. So it's a balanced confidence, But also you can't take it the other way where it's like you start not being confident and you're like doubting yourself and insecure. Don't want that either. And there's ways to work on this, which we can explain in another video. But yeah, we got that. And yeah, that's pretty much the main stuff. I might have left out a few things, which I'll cover in some other videos anyway. But this is enough for you guys to think about and to focus on. And to kind of realize too, where have you messed up with women in the past? You know, that's what I'm going to challenge you guys to think about. Where have you fumbled the ball, dropped the ball in the fourth quarter? You know, the other team got it, scored a touchdown. Where are your mistakes at? And really analyzing that and trying to make sense of it. And I'll do a video another time of how to do that, you know, how to analyze your mistakes and figure it out.